nothing to do for the next hour or so. So just kind of want to come in here and talk. I haven't checked in with anybody in a while. Hope everybody's doing good. If you don't know, my name is Anthony or Spoken Anthony or whoever you want to call me. I don't really care at this point. I just hope everybody's doing good. Tap in. Go ahead and leave a comment. Let's have a conversation about something. Anything. I really don't give a damn right. Oh, don't give a care right now. See, I had to stop myself. I've always liked to curse naturally, right? However, though, given my profession, when you work in corporate America, you can't go around cursing and swearing. When you go around people who have some sense, you can't always go around cursing and swearing. Hell, even if you're around people who don't have any sense, you can't always go around cursing and swearing. Because if you do it around the wrong person, it causes your job or your health. Let's be real here. You got to know when and who to curse around. But the one thing I always found interesting is, the aspect of cursing and freedom of speech. Sometimes cursing can be seen as just a way of expressing yourself when you're frustrated, right? Um, Sometimes it's saying you're upset or sad or however you want to describe it isn't enough. Sometimes you just want to go out and just start swearing. Most of the time, when you bang your toe, you swear. You know, it's just a form of expression and an art form that kind of got lost with time. I know some of my best comedians were people who curse and told inappropriate jokes and things of that nature. Kind of like the Chappelle Show. I loved the Chappelle Show when I was younger. That was one of the best comedy specials out there. And if I'm being honest with you, I kind of feel like Key and Peele kind of stored their format from Chappelle. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have that opinion. But Key and Peele also did a great job too, so I really can't hate on them. But it was just, Chappelle was the originator, and I don't think he ever gets the credit for the he deserved for the comedic genius that he was and the hard worker that he was. Because I still remember whenever he said he had the name of Pilot Boy because he always had a new pilot trying to get out in the works. But yeah, all right. So I got a question for people. If somebody is watching, when is it okay to start giving women money? And when I say women, like the woman you're dating. So if you've been dating a woman for like 2 months, and she says, "Hey, I'm short on some money. Can you help?" Would that be the appropriate time to give her some money? Like, how soon or how long do you wait before you start giving women money, your partner money? Let's see. Hey, how's it going? I see y'all spamming the flags. I think that's the Russian, no, China flag. How's it going? Hope y'all doing well. I just asking the question: when is the appropriate time to start giving or loaning women that you're dating money? So, for example, if y'all been dating for a couple months, is it okay to go ahead and just start dishing out money at that point in time? I'm not talking about for dates. You're paying for dates and interaction things of that nature, but I really do mean just like, you know, she may be short on a bill and she feels comfortable enough asking you like, "Hey, do you think you can help this month?" And when does it get to the point to where it's kind of like, okay, it's clear that you're using me for money. I'm not going to loan you anything anymore. Depends on what she wants money for. Okay, okay, that's a fair enough statement. Let's say that she was saying that, "Hey, I'm short on my rent. Can you help?" Now, in my mindset, I'm thinking, "Oh, what will you have done before you met me?" In addition to, that's a monthly bill you should pay for already. What's going on with that? Or let's just say it like an unexpected car thing happened. Like, hey, my car broke down. Are you able to help? Something like that. So it's things expected and unexpected. Now I'm on the mindset of that if I'm dating a woman and we've been together for 6 months or more, um, at the 6 month mark, that's when I will start being like, you know what, do you want to go get a massage? Where's the place you want to get a massage at? Let me go ahead and pay for that. But you got to get to that 6 month mark. I'm not going to be dishing out money or trying to help you whenever we're just like a month or so in, right? Because I feel like at 6 months, you have a better idea and feeling who the person really is compared to if it's just like a 6 month turn, y'all pretty much in there at that point. So you have a really good idea of who the person is. Right, certified Sid. You're 100% correct. You definitely don't want to be used for your money. But I notice in a lot of relationships nowadays, that's the main thing that people in general really care about is just the money. So you could be sitting here, be a loyal person, like cook, clean, and, and that's just not just a woman thing, but you can cook, clean, be a loyal person, try to be supportive, but that isn't enough a lot of the time because the financials. And let's be real here, the way, or at least here in America, the financials are very, very important when it comes to any relationship. That can make and break relationships more so than you can with a kind of an infidelity. I've seen people that will leave a good supportive person just because they don't make enough money or not able to help or they're struggling month to month. Um, and they'll leave that person and go somebody treats them like crap because they do have money. So that's what I'm just kind of saying. Like, when is a good time? And you guys' opinion. I just kind of want to get everybody's opinion. When is a good time to start giving your spouse money? Like I mentioned earlier, 6 months. I will pay for you to go get a massage. I will pay for you to get your nails done. I will pay for whatever at 6 month period, just from time to time because I feel like as a man and I'm financially able to, I want to do things to make you feel good, make you feel comfortable, but I also expect that be reciprocated too. You know, I don't. I shave my head bald now at this point, but pay for me to go to the barber shop. Pay for me to go see a movie or get a drink or something. Do something. I think it should be both ways, but I notice that people are so stingy now that it's like the craziest thing. It's a combination of stinginess and entitlement, and both things are very problematic to me, in my opinion. So yeah, I get an example of 2 months because I was seeing a woman and we were seeing each other for about 2 months, and then she asked me to help her pay for her rent, and I looked at her and I was just like, "Why don't you have your rent money?" I said, "I pay my mortgage. I have all that money. I plan for it every single month." Now, keep in mind, she likes to go out a lot. When I say she likes to go out a lot, it 4 nights out a week she's going out. It seems like with her girlfriends. I can't keep up with that. I'm a homebody. I bought a house for a reason, so I can stay inside my house. But and then I kind of judged a little bit. I said, well, if you're always going out, then maybe that's why you don't have money for your rent. You know, it wasn't an unforeseen thing like, oh yeah, my car broke down or my hours got cut back at work. It was just, hey, I'm short on my rent. Can you help me? And we didn't talk too much longer after that point. Again, if we were in there for like 6 months, cool. So most likely by 6 months, I'm probably staying there a good, 3 nights out of the week or so, right? You're staying a few nights out a week if you've been with somebody for 6 months, especially if you're grown. But in 2 months, you're still getting to know each other. And why are you going to ask me for shit at 2 months? Now I understand if it was like an emergency, like, hey, I got a flat tire or two flat tires, I need some money for that. But just for your rent, that's just irresponsible. Especially asking somebody that's it's pretty much a stranger. But it is what it is. Do I think men in general, and again, I'm kind of old fashioned in the sense, so I still believe in those old school gender roles where it comes to a man taking care of a woman. I think that's something that men should do. I think it should be something that man would want to do, but he should want to do that for a woman that he sees a future with. He shouldn't be going around taking care of every single woman out there. I think that's where the difference is. Let's see, what do you say here, sir? If I said, yeah, that's on her. She should be able to provide for herself and be sensible. Going out more than 3 nights a week is excessive, and everyone should watch their money and not be irresponsible. 100% agree. 100% agree. But yeah, I just kind of wanted an opinion on that. Like I said, I got some time to kill. I got about another. Well, actually, I said an hour a while ago. I got about another 30 minutes to kill, so I'm just trying to, find things to talk about. So, anything y'all want to talk about, drop it in the comments. I'll be happy to hear it. I'll be happy to talk about it. Also, like, comment, subscribe. Uh, yeah, trying to get to 2,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So hopefully I could do that. That's my goal for the month of August. My goal for the year was try to get to 10,000, but clearly that's not going to happen. So I'm doing more realistic. Hey, by the end of the month, let me just get to 2,000. But yeah, so what kind of content y'all normally watch on YouTube, right? I'm just kind of curious. Um, I will say, not so much YouTube, but on the other app, TikTok. I used to love it because you got to see real time of other countries and the things that are going on there. With YouTube, at times is very filtered and very censored, and you don't get to see the lives compared to like you do on other apps of what's really going on in other countries and the things that's going on. Um, but that's just my opinion there. Certified said, thank you for the interaction, and best of luck to you too. Anybody else in here? Where are y'all from? I notice a lot of times whenever I go live, I get people from Germany for some reason. I don't. I still haven't figured out how I made it into the German algorithm, but for some reason, a lot of the time I do get a lot of German people. Uh, and I get confused by that because I'm just like, how does a black man end up on German YouTube lives? But it's cool. It's just interesting to see where people are from most of the time. Oh, so you're from the States, Lord's Gift. Lord's Gift. How'd you come up with that name? Why are you Lord's Gift? Are you like Lord's Gift because you got musical talent? Because you're just alive? Is it because you were a difficult birth? Why that name? I'm just kind of curious. But it's good to hear that you're in the States. I hope you're doing well over there. I cannot think of any major city in Massachusetts. And when I was a kid, when you was learning to spell, and you say you spell the states, that state was one of the most annoying states to spell. Because you could barely say, at least I could, because back then I had a very large overbite with a gap. My overbite is coming back because, age and thinking of wisdom tooth taken out. But it's just one of those things. That was one of the most difficult words for me to spell when I was younger. It used to frustrate the crap out of me. That and spaghetti. I didn't understand the G in spaghetti. Not G, the H in spaghetti, excuse me. It just didn't make any sense to me. And again, this is Anthony. Like I said, it's got some time to kill. I got about 30 minutes stuff I want to say. So anybody want to drop a topic, let's just go ahead and talk. And subscribe if you already haven't. I appreciate it. I was a special child, so my mom said I was Laura's gift. I know it makes sense. Boston. That's right, Boston. That's right. I never been to Boston. Um, Sometimes when I think of Boston, for some reason I always think of Baltimore. But I was a special child, so I was Laura's gift. I kind of figure it has something to do with, birthing or mother or something along those lines. I didn't get any cool names like that. Uh, I was just called Aunt growing up. Hey, Aunt, Aunt, Aunt. So it was just, I rarely heard my full name Anthony from my family members growing up. It was Aunt most of the time. So, it is what it is, though. Boston is the state champions of what? Baseball? If it's baseball, I can be honest with you, I don't watch baseball in forever. I used to play baseball when I was younger until I hurt my shoulder. But I can honestly tell you, when I played baseball, I never watched it. I hate to say it, to me, watching baseball is just a boring sport. Playing it is very fun. Playing it is fun as hell. But watching it, that's just one of the most boring sports ever. Basketball and football. Okay. Yeah, that was one of those boring sports ever. But you don't watch baseball? I don't really know anybody who watches baseball seriously like that. Um, the only people I really know who watch baseball are the people who are adults that still try to play baseball in like the local leagues or things of that nature. But it's like casual people. Like if you go to like a bar around here, you won't see people with like baseball jerseys on. Football jerseys, sure. Basketball jerseys, yeah. But not a baseball jersey. You don't really see that. I remember when I used to go to Atlanta when I was younger, back when Atlanta was Atlanta and not what Atlanta is now. This when I say Atlanta was Atlanta, like Atlanta back in the early 2000s. Atlanta was fun then. I remember I bought a Atlanta Braves like hat and baseball jersey because I went to visit the stadium and watch a game there. Now watching a baseball game in person was pretty cool. I almost got hit in the face with a baseball in that game, but that was cool though. Um, I kind of missed that jersey and the hat, mainly because the Atlanta Braves A, and my name is Anthony, so I liked anything with an A, except for Alabama football. I cannot stand Alabama football, um, especially when you hear Roll Tide, Roll Tide, Roll Tide, and that's one of the most annoying things ever. Whenever football season is around, especially when Alabama was undefeated for like what 5 years straight or something like that. So they had some crazy ass record. It was one of the most annoying things ever. Alabama fans are just a pain in the ass. You just be walking down the street, roll tide. You'll be having a conversation that is randomly say roll tide to your face. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Tired of y'all Alabama people. Okay, I thought it was time for you to go pick up somebody. Still got more time apparently. Even basketball. I know you said basketball too, but I haven't watched too much basketball lately. I grew up in the era where Jordan and then Jordan kind of passed the torch to Kobe. Wow, I had a brain dead moment for a second there. And you got to see them in their greatness. And the downside about Kobe is that he didn't really get his flowers until he passed, even though he was an amazing player, a great player. But because of the essay allegations with the white girl, people and brands in general just didn't want to touch him, and that really sucks because Kobe was amazing too. You notice that pattern with athletes who are great; they always get taken down by a woman. Yeah, a lot of text messages. Let me see here. Did not mean to do that. Am I still alive? Yeah. Okay. Yes, Kobe was a great player. He was one of the best, and people didn't start acknowledging that until he passed away. If he didn't have those SC allegations, then he would definitely be a top five player in most people's list. But because he did have those SC allegations, a lot of the time people won't even touch him. Even Shaq said, Shaq, I could give Shaq credit. Whenever him and Kobe was playing together, he couldn't stand Kobe, it seemed like. He used to talk a lot of crap about him. However, though, after his death, Shaq has been like the number one Kobe supporter. Hong Kong Kobe is not in the top greatest players of all time. Hong Kong Kobe this. Even Shaq compares himself to Kobe. He's like, if I had Kobe's work effort, I'll probably be the greatest player ever. I mean, he speaks so highly of Kobe after he's gone. It makes you think they're best friends in life. So I can respect that. I got 4 likes. I appreciate that. If I could get some more comments, I appreciate that too. And again, this time I random things. I got some time to kill before I got to go pick up somebody here in a few. And after that, I'm gonna get ready for my night. So I gotta wake up early. You know, the one of the greatest things about working an early shift at work is you get off work early, right? But then you also get tired a lot earlier too. Like my eyes already look heavy, and it's only like what 7:42. It's not that late at all. But I already wanted to take a shower and lay down and just relax, watch some dumb videos. You know what? I'm probably gonna watch the whole entire. Is it Big Jaw, the lesbian homie series? Today is Thursday. Today is Thursday. So a new episode of that should have came out. And then another new episode of Donadine should have came out too. I need to look that up just to make sure. So I got some stuff to watch until I get ready to go to bed and go to sleep here in a few. Just curious, anybody else in here watch anime or Big Jaw? What's my opinion on soccer? So here's my thing about soccer. I thought soccer looked so cool when I was younger, but but I just wasn't good at it because I kept wanting to use my hands. So I did goalie. Now goalie was cool. Goalie was fun. And I'm noticing that soccer or football is making a really large surge in the US. I think, if I'm being honest with you, I really do think that has a lot to do with ISO speed and uh, mainly ISO speed for the younger generation. Because once he started praising Messi and talking about Ronaldo and doing these interviews and stuff overseas in soccer, he pretty much bought that to the younger generation and that popularity over it too. Because that's the most popular sport in the world. It's just America for some reason we just don't mess with it like that. But every other country in the world does. It's interesting because if you just go on to Netflix and watch African Netflix or African shows on Netflix, you'll see a lot of stuff about soccer on there. So yeah, I think soccer is great. I couldn't personally do it mainly because I always want to use my hands and my football coordination wasn't the best. I did try it for a while though. And you gotta have hell of endurance to be a soccer player. I don't know how they do it. All that nonstop. They run more than basketball players. I mean, you'll see basketball players at least taking a break. When I watch a soccer game, you don't see those people take a break at all. I'm like, Jesus. But I had a friend who loves soccer. He used to say he had soccer balls in his blood. And he became the captain of our school soccer team his sophomore year, I want to say. He was good. He was real good. Yeah, but I'm kind of glad it's not though. The only reason I'm kind of glad it's not that big in the UK because if it was that big in the UK, we wouldn't have no good players here because everybody be ready to leave and go to the UK. I mean, if we're being really honest here, entertainment in America is kind of going downhill, and they keep trying to make it worse and worse with all the stuff that kind of passed lately. So, um, another sport I'm surprised that didn't pick up anywhere else is football or rugby. Like I'm surprised we don't have a larger following for rugby here. I think rugby would be hella fun. However, some of that stuff looks kind of gay. I hate to say it that way, but when you see them like grabbing themselves by the shorts and lifting them up in the air, getting a big wedgie, I'm just like, what the hell is that? I understand there's a technique to a point to it, but outside of that, I think rugby would be like should be pretty popularized here, just for the fact that it's violent. And let's be real here, anything that's violent sells really good in America. Um, Mr. Iran, I don't know what that says, so I'm just going to say hi to you. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe and like. Check out some of my other videos too. Um, I go live on here from time to time, but I really post more videos to YouTube. So if you go on there to check out, I got a bunch of random shorts. I don't want to say random, they're all by me, of course. And videos on topics that I worked on, research, do video clips, the whole entire YouTuber thing. Check those out too. I got a lot of them. I got over 1,000 videos on my channel. There's got to be something y'all will find somewhat entertaining. So yeah, check out my channel sometimes. Lacrosse is a very, all right, I'll be honest with you. I'm from the South. Anywhere in the South, the main sports are going to be football and basketball. Just keeping it 100. But when it comes to lacrosse, and my daughter's in high school, they have a lacrosse team here. I didn't know that was a real thing because the first time I really seen lacrosse as a sport, which lacrosse also does look fun, was when I saw the show Teen Wolf. Teen Wolf, because what was the lead character's name? Scott. He was trying to get on the lacrosse team. And then also when you see shows like Bel Air, again, lacrosse. So Carlton plays lacrosse on Bel Air. So I'm just like, okay, so I guess lacrosse is finally starting to become more popularized. Where'd you see that on Teen Wolf or Bel Air? Teen Wolf? Okay. Yeah, that was a pretty good show. I will say, I'm the type of person, if I watch a show and I like it, when it gets towards like the final season, I lose interest and I stop watching it. I don't know what it is. I just could never watch a final season of a show. I always read about it. Because a lot of the time, the final seasons are always so disappointing. I don't know who those people are. Are they music artists? J Dog and Mikey Chung. I'm about to get out of here in a minute. Got some more errands to run before I go pick up this person. But, for those of you who interacted with me, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I hope y'all subscribe. I hope y'all catch y'all on my next live. And yeah, thank you again.